Congratulations, everybody. You just survived the earthquake, the big one. I'm sorry, I lied to you. It was never a soundstage. It was always earthquake. But that's kind of a good lesson because in the film industry, you're getting lied to all the time.
Oh, yeah.
If you've ever seen the show American Ninja Warrior, they get really excited. They're like, coming to you live from downtown LA. It's never downtown LA. It is, in fact, our metro sets. They do the same thing with The Voice. They're like, we're in our offices in downtown LA. Nope, it's our metro sets again. Now, Earthquake has been a part of our tour for a very long time. We actually closed it a couple of years ago so we could update all that film equipment to the 21st century. It didn't really ruin it when I would be like, this is a soundstage. And everyone would be like, these cameras are from the 70s. But right now we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the movie Jaws. How exciting. Now, I know that you might have heard a rumor, right, about a shark problem. I'm telling you right now, that has been taken care of, okay? That's my guarantee. On your right-hand side, there you go. The shark has been dealt with. He's strung up over there, nothing to worry about. Anyways, my friend George is Universal's official scuba diver, which is a pretty cool job. Maybe George has gone home for the day, because that's no. George? Don't worry, everybody, those are screams of excitement. And that's blood of excitement. Okay, yeah, Charlotte's gonna pull us forward. We're gonna hide over here by these barrels. Can anyone read what those say? I don't have my glasses on. Oh. Gasoline. We're gonna hide by the gasoline barrels, and I'm confident that's not gonna come into play at all.
Yo. Oh shit, that's hot.
Oh no. The gasoline barrels came into play.
Oh.
Who could have predicted this? Okay, everyone remain calm. I'll let the office know. By the way, was anybody keeping track of that giant shark?
Where is it? Yo! Whoa! Woo!
That's cool.
That's really cool. Need glass for that.
Give yourselves a hand, everyone. You just survived Jaws.
Yay!
That's Bruce. Bruce is the best actor on the studio tour. Does anyone know what kind of shark Bruce is? Shout it out. I'm hearing great white. That's close. Bruce is actually mechanical. He's a mechanical shark. The only kind of shark that can swim backwards. Look at him. Like the perfect little actor he is. Bruce works much better than the one they used for the actual film, which was not intended to be used in salt water. So when they decided to film on location in Martha's Vineyard, it pretty much immediately sunk to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. They ended up with so little usable footage of the shark that they had to completely rethink how the film was put together. The day was saved by one woman. Her name was Verna Field. She was the editor. She came up with the idea of not showing the shark until about halfway through the film, creating that air of suspense. It completely changed the way that we do horror and thriller movies to this day, and created the iconic film that we know and love. Now, a mechanical shark is a really good example of a practical effect, and I'm about to show you another good example of a practical effect. Welcome to Old Mexico. We're going to do a little thunderstorm. It'll be fun. Now, the first thing is you're going to hear some thunder that's coming from speakers inside of the buildings. And then on top of the buildings to your right are strobe lights. That's going to be creating a lightning effect. Now, in just a moment, we are going to cue the rain. Can we cue? There we go. I'm never quite sure if they'd hear me. Now, rain can sometimes be difficult to capture on camera. It needs to be properly lit from behind. That's why if you're watching a football game, they say it's raining, but you don't see the rain. It's because the rain is not properly lit. Now, our rain is a very complicated and intricate system called sprinklers that we put on top of a really big pole that lets the water fall down naturally. All right, can we cut the rain, please?
So you got the rain.
Can we cut the rain? Oh no. Can we please cut the rain?
No, it's malfunction.
I can't believe this is happening again.
Yo!
I'm sorry, everyone. That's a flash flood.
Oh! No! Giống à. So
You may
real.
recognize our flash flood if you've seen the movie Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz, Amanda Bynes, and Paul Giamatti on your screens right now.
You cannot run the world, cat!
I'll show you a little bit of movie magic. There's Paul Giamatti. There he is again. That's a stunt double.
Đó, chỗ đó đó.
Now, when Lady Gaga used those same sets for her Judas music video, she did not use a stunt double. Do with that information what you will. With that, though, we're headed out of Old Mexico and into the Old West. Welcome to Six
Why
Points.
West?
6 Points is where
Will
we
Smith.
film some of our original Western movies like My Little Chickadee and Gunsmoke. It originally consisted of 6 different roads that met at one point in the middle. We were able to film as though they were 6 different Western towns. In the days of silent movies, that meant filming 6 films at once, which is how we released over 200 Western movies in just 1 year, which is significantly less impressive when I tell you that that was back when movies were only like 10 to 20 minutes long. But 6 Points is a really good place to show you some examples of forced perspective, a little bit of filming tricks that we like to use. If you look around, you might notice that every single door is a different size. That is not a mistake, that is on purpose. That's because a really good way to make an actor seem small and vulnerable is to put them in front of a really big door. Or vice versa, if you want them to seem big and tough, you can stand them in front of a very tiny door. They had to use a lot of framing tricks like that back in the day. One of, I think, the funniest things that they did happened because they were casting their movies based on who was the best at riding horses. Nothing else. And a group of people who's very good at riding horses, jockeys. However, jockeys are not necessarily known for being tall. They would often find themselves with a leading man who was shorter than their leading lady, which at the time, scandal. So what they would do, they had dirt roads back then, and they would dig a
Steven
big
Spielberg,
rut in the side of the road. And then they would have the woman walk in this ditch while the man walked up on street level. And in the little frame of the camera, it would look like he was taller than her. Now, they still do sometimes use tricks like that. If anybody's seen any Marvel movie and Robert Downey Jr. looks like he's roughly the same height, or like around the same height as Scarlett Johansson, that man is wearing custom heels. You can look it up. It's like a little business shoe with a cute little 3-inch heel. Very manageable, very walkable. Now, that's only if he needs to walk. Sometimes they will just put him on an apple box. In film, an apple box is literally just a wooden crate that they wanted to give a special name to. We're gonna be past Jaws Lake once again. I get to see Bruce. Oh, I love Bruce. Hi, I missed you. It's only been 1 minute, but I missed you. Jaws was directed by Steven Spielberg. I know, really small underground director. I'm gonna let him tell you a little more about our history.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. This was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom, and when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded.
I'll pause Steven real quick to show you a really good example on your right side of a practical set, meaning we can film inside and outside of this building, our chicken ranch. It's right next to a great example of a facade where we're only building what the camera is going to see.
All movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on locations, but most of it was focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
Now, as he was telling you, we do have such a long relationship with Stevie S. So long, in fact, that the longest road on our backlot is named after him. That's the one we're on now, Steven Spielberg Drive. This is also known as our wilderness. If you look to your right, you'll see trees. And if you look to your left, you'll see trees. Hence the name, the wilderness. But we do use this area for filming. There's an episode of 911 Emergency where we flipped a limo out here. We had more limo troubles in the show Never Have I Ever. Oh, and Bird Box on Netflix with Sandra Bullock. Did anybody see this in Bird Box? Maybe a few people? Sandra Bullock did not see this in Bird Box because she was blindfolded the whole time. Speaking of a little bit of horror, though, we are turning it into an area that is currently getting set up for Halloween Horror Nights, our Terror Tram. Before a tram can be terrifying, though, it has to be glamorous. On your left side, this is one of our original Universal Studios glamour trams, hanging out with the rest of our picture cars. That is seen on screen in a TV show or a movie.
Picture car.
We have cars from Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, quite a few from the Flintstones. Ooh, Fast and Furious. And on the end, that's exciting. It looks like we have a couple of Transformers. They are in car mode right now, but maybe if you ask really nicely, they'll turn into robots.
Fast and Furious?
Now, if you're ever watching a movie and you see a character driving, that car is almost definitely being towed by a trailer. That is because acting and driving at the same time is considered distracted driving and is therefore illegal. If it's a lower budget movie, like a Hallmark film, two characters having a conversation, one's driving, pay attention to how often the driver looks at the road. It's not nearly enough. Now on your right side, we are passing by the Bates Motel.
Bates Motel.
As seen in the movie Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, driver that we have a long history with at Universal. On your left side is our scale replica of the Hollywood sign.
Hollywood sign.
It's currently dressed up for the 50th anniversary of the movie Jaws. If you somehow haven't seen the movie Jaws, it is streaming on Peacock until July 3rd. I recommend you check it out. Now it looks like, we're about to pass by Norman Bates' mother's home. And he's here. Hi, Norman. Is everything okay? Oh, no. Everything's not okay. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned his mom? Okay. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. That was kind of a disaster. But speaking of disasters, welcome to the plane crash site for War of the Worlds. This is my favorite set on the backlot. You are looking at a real commercial 747 airliner. It was purchased from an airplane graveyard out in the Mojave Desert for about $60,000. That's a good deal. Unfortunately, it had already been decommissioned, so they had to spend an additional $200,000 just to get it here. They split it into 4 pieces and drove it down the highway in the middle of the night. They had to remove the roof so it could fit beneath the overpasses that's sitting on top of those houses to your right. Now, these houses are based off of a real neighborhood in North New Jersey where they filmed the first half of the scene. Tom Cruise and his family went down into the little bunker, and the next morning, they came out to see all of this wreckage. This is an exact copy, by the way, of that neighborhood, except one key difference, which is that we dropped a giant plane on this one. Now, if you look at the plane, at the armrest specifically, you'll be able to see that they have these like divots in them. Those are ashtrays. So that gives you an idea of just how old this plane is. It's from back in the day where they encouraged smoking on airplanes. Now it's not even legal. My favorite thing that they use these sets for is training search and rescue dogs. They have actors like hide in the rubble and they send in the puppies. It's very cute. Now, I know we have some horror fans. Do we have any Jordan Peele fans specifically? Okay.
Jordan Peele, who's Jordan?
Show of hands, everybody. Who has seen the movie Nope?
Nope.
Okay, a few of us, not that many of us. Good to know. I'm not gonna lie. If you haven't seen Nope, then it might get a little bit confusing. But I'll be there the whole time. I'll walk you through it. Don't you?
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often friends, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it
How
to
come your
life.
head is upside down?
This is Jupiter's nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jewel Park.
These are the actual sets used in the movie Nope. It took about 40 minutes north of here in Agua Dulce, Sweetwater, California. When they wrapped filming, they lovingly took the sets apart, brought them here, and put them back together. They opened them to our studio tour the very same day that the movie was released in theaters. It was the first time an audience could see a movie in theaters and then go through the sets themselves the very same day.
An live show. So live Welcome to the world of no.
All right, for those of you who haven't seen the movie, I'm going to walk you through what's going on right now. There's an alien above the tram. Her name is Jean Jacket. That's beside the point. If you look up, Jean Jacket's going to get you, okay? So do not look up. You can look to the left or right. You can look down at the ground. You can make direct eye contact with me throughout the entirety of this bit if you want to make it weird. But do not look up. Because if you look up, Jean Jacket's going to get you, and then I'm going to have to paperwork. And I don't want to fill out paperwork, so please do not look up. Car 3, I see you. Be careful, sunglasses. Don't look up. Okay, I think we're probably safe. Did anyone look up?
No.
Did anybody get got?
Me too scared to look
Show
up.
of hands, who has been a casualty?
I think that was you.
No casualties?
No.
That's really good, everybody. Oh my God, I'm very proud of you. That is
It's a
way
good
better
hope.
than my last tour. No casualties is a new record for me. Congratulations. I hope you always remember when your tour guide yelled at you. Wasn't that wild? Anyways, Nope is a really good example of how important sound design can be in film, particularly in horror films. A lot of horror films will include a specific frequency of sound
I wanna go
in their
to the
scores, in their
dinosaur
soundtracks, that
Let's go.
causes that stressed out, anxious, uncomfortable feeling. They want you already on edge. That's going to make all of their jump scares all the more effective. The sound design for the alien in Nope was a pretty long process. They combined over 50 different sounds, including stuff like a lion roaring and a roller coaster screeching. All of these sounds were warped, some of them played backwards, woven together to create that super ominous soundscape that you experience or you experience when you watch the movie. Sound is one of the coolest parts of film productions. They have truly jobs for anyone. Even if your dream is to make footsteps in movies, you can do that. That's a job called a Foley
No.
artist.
I can do that.
They get sent footage that has sound missing, let's say it's footsteps or a door creaking, and they're responsible for making up sounds to match with what the audience is going to see on screen. But from Foley artists to set designers, CGI production designers, casting, actors, directors, writers, we have jobs for everyone in film. And that just about brings us to the end of our tour today. I hope you learned something new that you didn't know before
I
about
want to go back to the
Universal or
dinosaur
about
and King
the
Kong.
film
That's the best part,
industry
right?
in general.
No, that
In
one
just
and
one
the.
quick moment, I am going to be able to show you our martini shot. Ooh, ah.
Oh,
In
yeah.
film, a martini shot is the last thing the camera sees before the crew gets to go home and to have a martini. For us, though, our martini shot is the last thing I'll be showing you before I bring you back to the theme park. It's going to be on your right side. Prepare yourselves.
Right
Here
side.
it is. Beautiful green dumpster.
What?
I'm kidding. It is behind the dumpster. It's the entire San Fernando Valley. You can see all of our front and back lots. Behind that, you can see Warner Brothers Studios, and then that kind of like rusty brown cheese grater shaped building, that is Disney Studios. If you look off in the way distance, that like really flat blue and yellow building, that is the largest IKEA in North America. It has nothing to do with the film industry, but it is in fact where I bought my bookshelf. Now, if you are interested in purchasing any of the titles you saw on screen today, you can go to uphe.com or you can talk to the associates at the front of our studio store in the upper lot. I want to give a shout out to our annual pass holders. Thank you for coming to see us time and time again. We're so happy to have you here. If you are not an annual pass holder and you are hoping to become one, you can talk to our friends in the box office in the upper lot or go to the Universal Studios Hollywood app for details. I want to take a quick moment to thank our driver, Charlotte. Everybody say thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you, Charlotte.
She saved us from about 8 hours of walking. I know because I've done it. And so I'm happy she was able to bring us through, prevent you guys from wasting your entire day on a long and hot walk. Instead, you can have a wonderful time in the theme park. If you haven't seen our Waterworld stunt show, I absolutely recommend you check it out. It is Universal's wettest attraction.
That's the end of
However,
the ride.
coming up
Goodbye, guys.
second for Universal's wettest attraction right now is our
I'll
Jurassic
be back.
World ride.
Hi.